Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome back and happy Tuesday. All right, guys. Well, we are back to talk about the fact that there is an A-lister who is literally taking shots, but not the good kind. She is taking shots at Jax Taylor's bar, Jax's Studio City. Now, this is kind of interesting to me because I have an LA related story that matches up with what she's saying. So, would I be the most shocked by what she's saying? Absolutely not. But we're going to break into all of it. Before we do, if you guys have not, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and let's go. All right, guys. So, what? You guys know Charlize Theron, who obviously she is a huge name in Hollywood. She went on Watch What Happens Live, and this was just on June 26th. Now, when she did, she talked about Jax Taylor's Studio City bar and pretty much making wild claims that could actually damage future patrons and the possibility of them even entertaining the idea of going to said bar. But she said during her visit, she was a little mad and she was disappointed. She left within like an hour. And she said, it was like, it was like a mom's early bird special, is what she called it. But she feels as though the bar itself, that they are actually diluting the drinks in order to save money, because that's the only reason you would dilute the drinks. And that is a huge issue. It's a big no-no. There was a nightclub that I worked at in Los Angeles. I'm not going to name them, but they're closed now, so it doesn't matter. But there was a nightclub that I worked at where they would actually have people who would take tequila bottles or Tito's bottles, vodka bottles, and they would pour half out into other bottles, and then they would, or like a third out, and then they would pour the rest like with water, and then they would just double up. So when they would empty a bottle, they would save it in order to pour more into those bottles. And they were doing this in a nightclub setting because the people who were coming to the nightclub were already so effed up that it was like they weren't going to notice. And I remember there was like 5 guys in the back doing this. And I remember saying to Jason, like, this is kind of bullshit. Not kind of, but these people are paying a shit ton of money for these drinks. Like, at least give them a drink. So I thought it was just a little ridiculous. But that's what I'm trying to say, is it could happen. I'm not saying it is happening, but it could happen. But Jax's Studio City took to Instagram their stories to deny the claim, saying, well, here we go. 1, incorrect. We most definitely do not water down our liquor. And they acknowledged the fact that she did say that the vibe is awesome, and they encouraged her to return, saying you need to come again and really do it. Okay. Well, she made it clear that she loved the atmosphere and had fun with her friends, but was simply underwhelmed by the drink strength at the time. And it was in April of 2024 where the health department investigated claims that Jax changed diapers at the bar counter, and inspections found that there was no such instance, and the complaint actually ended up being closed. So as of right now, I think that if you guys were doing that, now that this is being blasted out, I would get on top of it and get ahead of it. And if you weren't doing that, then maybe you're just dealing with an A-lister who really likes her liquor and she can handle a strong drink. And maybe she was just underwhelmed because yours was not strong enough. But the attack on the bar, like I said, that's a pretty hefty little situation to just go on and attack the bar. I mean, it's not like she's a nobody, is what I'm trying to say. So her words carry a lot of weight. It's not a good look. But hold on. There's more. There's always more. Then this meme came up under Justice for Jax Taylor. Thank you to Bravo Snarkside. A lot of people think that Justice for Jax Taylor is another account, a Finsta, ran by Jax Taylor, right? So They said, a scene that's been haunting me for 48 hours. Jax Taylor was ready to take accountability for his actions and apologize, but he was spit on before he was even given the chance. Imagine. The pain in his face was almost debilitating. This man is so resilient. Hashtag justice for Jax. Hashtag the Valley. And Zach Wickham said, what in the actual F-balls? This has to be a satire account because this is laughable. Also, I don't think it's a Jax burner account because too many words are spelled correctly. I'm also going to say this real quick about our friend over here, Zach Wickham. I like Zach. I think that he does a lot on the show, like in good ways and also bad. Sometimes I feel like you're just doing the most and I don't understand what you're doing. And sometimes I think that his confessionals aren't as funny as he thinks that they are, but I do like him on the show. So it's give and take. But that also, by the way, let me just clear this up. That doesn't just apply to him. Most people have ups and downs. Like, unless it's like Stassi Schroeder, girl can give a confessional. She can give a one-liner and she can read somebody for filth, put them back up together, destroy them again, and then put them together and then walk out of a scene. Like, very Bethany Frankel-like. So it's a gift. You know what I mean? But I do think that this account is actually ran by Jax Taylor. If I had to guess, which is exactly what I'm doing, I don't know that for a fact. But moving on, then we have Sheena and Shenanigans.
How do you feel when you know that big A-list celebrities are watching the show? Has that hit you yet?
You know, when you see like Rihanna and Seth Rogen.
Like, if you saw Rihanna at a party, you could say hi to her and she knows who Janet is.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm obsessed.
I would collapse. Jason saw her in real life like 10, 15 years ago. And he was like, she's one of those people that just like glows. I would be terrified, but probably would say hello if the opportunity was right. But it is so strange.
Yeah.
And I guess that then I have the back of my head, like, do they hate me?
Well, that's why I didn't approach Emma Roberts at Coachella. She walked right past me. She didn't see me. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I know that she watches the show, but also I don't know. Are you team Sheena? Can you not stand Sheena? Like, I don't want to just like go up and say, I'm just like, oh, this girl. And so I had my friend who's like a publicist. She was like, no, Emma's like a good friend of mine. Like, go say hi. And literally Emma was like, so you're not going to say hi to me? Like, what the hell, Sheena? And I was like, I didn't know if you liked me, but she was like so excited to see me. I'm like, what is life? How do you feel when you know?
I mean, actually, to be fair, that's really, really getting cool. Especially because I am actually, I get really shocked seeing some of our A-list celebrities and people who are just living in the headlines. But I'm not talking about reality TV stars. I'm talking about really talented individuals who are making the most at what they do in the music industry. You know, Rihanna, when she branched off into Fenty, became a billionaire. Obviously, we know that her husband was plastered all over and he ended up not having to face charges for, we don't even need to go down that rabbit hole. But when you see like him and you see some of these other celebrities who just love Bravo and they're like, this is my getaway. This is what I like. Oh my God, I love the Valley. I love this. Seth Rogen, I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's actually really cool. So I agree with Sheena. I think that was a great point to bring up to Janet. And yeah, for the Valley, though, I do hope it takes a different turn and it becomes a little less dark. But in the meantime, I don't have any complaints about the Valley. I think the Valley it's a great show. I just think that they need to do a few little tweaks to the show if they want to maintain longevity. But then again, also to accompany that statement, to piggyback off of what I'm saying, it's like, you guys might be thinking, Adam, who gives up what you think? And what do you know? And that could be true too. So I want to hear what you guys think, guys. Pop off in the comment section, smash the like button, show some love, and we'll see you later. Bye.